Hello and welcome to this video. I'm Marcus Hayes, and when I look around the world, it just seems that human beings are naturally selfish. Now, maybe this is one of the traits that us as human beings needed during earlier stages of our evolution, like some of the traits that sort of hold us back in life nowadays. You can sort of trace them back to earlier times where they would have been more useful and would have been more essential in making us, evolve into the beings that we are now. But, this sort of natural selfishness that most people have is definitely outdated, and it could probably end up being our downfall. If you think about it, wars and stuff are started mostly because of greed and selfishness. And now that we're in the nuclear age, a war could literally end up meaning our extinction. So yeah, selfishness is a big problem in the world today. And it's definitely something that I've had to tackle in myself. As a drug addict, I am very selfish. When you're going out and getting wasted, wasting all your money, you're not really bothered about, for example, in my case, I didn't care about how it was affecting my girlfriend. I didn't care how it was affecting my finances, which were ultimately going to affect my life and hers. I was in this selfish cycle of just focusing on what I wanted, and what I wanted was to just get wasted. So yeah, as a drug addict, I am more prone to being really selfish. And one thing that's sort of mentioned in the literature of recovery from drug addiction, actually, a lot of people who have been successful in staying clean, one of the things that they need to focus on as part of their recovery is serving other people. And you hear that from a lot of successful people in general as well, people that are, successful in business or whatever, a lot of them do mention that they spend a lot of time and resources serving other people. And what I've learned is that if you focus on serving other people, you will end up getting back what you put into serving people, times 10. So, even as a selfish way of looking at it, it is worth, focusing your life on serving other people as much as you can. Now, a lot of the time, our ego or our mind will persuade us that we don't have enough time or resources to serve others. Or, we'll have a story in our heads that's telling us that whoever does need help doesn't deserve our help, But that is another example of your mind trying to hold you back, trying to keep you in the state that you're in, which might be, a selfish state. And your mind a lot of the time will tell these stories to you and even come up with examples to prove these stories to you, to sort of persuade you to not become a better person, to not change who you are. And you need to identify that if you do get an opportunity to help someone, to serve someone, and your mind is, telling you that you don't have time or that they don't deserve it, that is your mind just holding you back, as it does in many ways. And a lot of the stuff that I bang on about on this channel is, not allowing your mind to dictate what you do, using your mind as a tool rather than having your mind and your ego use you as a tool. And this is another example of that, because I've learned that not everything that my mind tells me is true. This is another example where, if I feel that I'm in a position to serve someone else, to help someone else, and my mind's coming up with excuses to not do that, that's just another example of my mind lying to me. And I've just found that in my life, when I focus on serving other people, it benefits me just as much as it's benefiting whoever I'm going to be serving. What you give out to the world in terms of positive energy, you will get back times 10. Now, you can call it fate, you can call it, God repaying you, whatever way you look at it, but it's a fact that the more positivity you put out in the world, the more positivity you will receive yourself. The more positivity I unleash on the world, the more I seem to get good luck. I don't really believe in luck. I believe that you make your own luck. And in some ways, this is a way of making your own luck. It just seems like more things come my way, more positivity comes my way, the more that I put positivity out in the world. And in fact, this channel is an example of that. The more I sort of set time aside to come on here and share what I've learned about self-improvement and stuff, the more I seem to be able to battle my own demons, So I really am getting out of this as much as I'm putting in. And ultimately, whenever you help someone, it makes you feel good. And as a drug addict, I'm naturally always looking for ways to make myself feel good. Obviously nowadays, I'm looking for more healthy ways to make me feel good. And this is just another example of that. Now, there's obviously levels to this idea of serving people, If you're in a position to go out and do a load of charity work, or, some people literally devote their lives, to being missionaries and things like that, that's great. If you want to go and do that and you're in a position to do that, go and do that. But what I tend to focus on is, instead of doing things, that are serving other people, I try and focus every day on becoming the kind of person that serves other people. So, it's the little things, whenever you get an opportunity to hold a door open for someone, hold that door open for them. Even if they're, a bit away from the door and you've got to wait a few seconds, wait and hold the door open for them. Become that kind of guy. Don't let your mind sort of persuade you, oh, they're not close to the door, forget it, they can open it themselves. Become that person that, it does wait, for them to come through the door, and you hold it open for them. Things like when you're in a shop or a restaurant, and someone serves you, thank them, go out of your way to overly thank them. I see so many people, in a shop, and they get served and they're just like, cheers, as if they're they don't really want to say cheers, but they just do because they feel like they have to. Me, a lot of the time, thank you, sir, have a nice day, you know what I mean? And I don't care if there's other people in the queue that are, living a negative life and they think I seem like an idiot, or I seem like I'm sort of brown nosing or whatever. I don't care. My mind will tell me things like that itself, so I'm ignoring that, and I'm ignoring other people as well. I'll go out of my way to be like, thank you, sir, have a nice day, because maybe I'll be the only person that really, really sort of shows gratitude for them serving me in a shop. It's going to make them happier, make their day happier, then they're going to be happy when they interact with other people, so just that little thing, it is over the top, but it goes a long way. And I just focus on, becoming that guy, On the subject of, restaurants and stuff, there's times where, they'll get your order wrong. And your mind naturally is take it back, start again, I deserve to get what I've ordered. Me, that's fine, as long as it's not something that I really dislike. If they make a little mistake on the order, I'm like, no, it's fine. Honestly, I've been in situations where they're like, no, it's fine, we'll go and correct it. I'm like, no, it's fine, honestly, leave it, it's fine. Because ultimately, that little thing of you having something to eat that isn't exactly what you ordered, it's not a big deal. And if I can make them feel better about the mistake they've made, then I'm doing good in the world. I'm serving them by spreading positivity rather than, making a big fuss of it, and then every time I see someone or a friend, later on in the day, I'm telling them about how unreasonable I was treated, how they got the wrong order, and how I kicked off and how I made them go and change it. A lot of the time when something little like that happens, you basically spend your whole day reliving that negative thing. Whereas me, I'd rather be like, no, honestly, it's fine. You know what I mean? I've spread some positivity in the world, haven't made them feel bad about it, and I just eat my food. There was an example recently, actually. We went into this place, me and my girlfriend, and it was a weird place. I can't remember the name of it, but her brother told us about it before. And you go in and you do everything on an iPad thing. You don't even get served by a person, which I don't really agree with. But you order it on an iPad, and you pay with your card, and then you go and sit down, and then they just bring it over. So you don't really interact with anyone until they bring the food over, which again, I don't really agree with the way the world's going like that, but it is what it is. And ultimately, it was a salad and rice dish with Cajun chicken, and I wanted soy sauce on mine, and my girlfriend wanted Worcester sauce on hers. As it happened, they put the soy sauce and the Worcester sauce on mine, and they put nothing on my girlfriend's. And they were like, oh, sorry, we'll start again. I'm like, no, it's fine, I'll have the Worcester sauce, it's fine. If you could please put the Worcester sauce on my girlfriend's one, so then she gets exactly what she ordered, I got exactly what I ordered, except it had Worcester sauce. I'm not a massive fan of Worcester sauce, but it doesn't make me feel sick to eat it, so it's fine. You know, now that lady that's working in that shop has gone away. She hasn't had to deal with the potential embarrassment if her boss found out that she made that mistake. You know, she hasn't got to keep thinking all day about how silly she was making that mistake. You know, who knows, if she's on her last warning, she might have got fired for that. You know, that's the world we live in nowadays. So for me, it was better to just be like, no, honestly, it's fine. Just please rectify my girlfriend's one. You know, she just put the Worcester sauce on that, and that was fine. I walked out of there, said, thank you very much, have a nice day, and I felt good. Because that's the point. Whenever you get a chance to help someone, it doesn't matter how big or small it is, it makes you feel good. So it's worth doing anyway, even on a selfish level. But I would urge you not to sort of give to receive. You know, just become the kind of person that naturally wants to help other people, and then you'll just find that naturally things will come back to you. Don't focus on the giving to receive. And you know, while you're doing things to serve other people, whether they be big things, whether they be little things, identify when your mind tries to persuade you not to do it. Whenever you've got any resistance in your mind to doing good in the world, identify it, like acknowledge it, don't ignore it. You know, notice, see what my mind did there, and obviously acknowledge it for what it is. It's just your mind trying to hold you back. And then you'll just notice that in life in general, your mind and your ego will try and prevent you becoming a better person. And you know, you can't sort of battle something, although battle's the wrong word, unless you acknowledge it. And yeah, you don't want to battle it. You just want to acknowledge it for what it is and let it go away, and then continue doing what you know you should, which is, in this example, you know, do that good deed, you know, or serve that person that you wanted to anyway. You know, acknowledge that your mind tried to stop you doing it, and then crack on with what you know you should be doing. And look, as I mentioned earlier on, if you are in a position to do the big things in life that are really going to serve other people, you know, charity work or, you know, whatever, feel free to go and do them things, but also focus on the little things you can do every day. You know, become that kind of person that does the little things all the time, because I feel that if you become a person that always serves others in these little ways every day, I feel that's going to be more beneficial to the world and more beneficial to you than someone who basically lives a selfish life and then once a year does a bit of charity work, you know, just to sort of level out the karma. So focus on becoming someone who serves people. Don't focus on serving people like once in a while. Another thing I've sort of learned is that you can actually reframe the way you look at things that you already do to serve other people. One example of this is, you know, I'm a YouTuber. I've got my other channel which follows my life with my cars, and then obviously I've started this channel. And there's been a couple of times on my other channel where I've fully decided that, you know, I'm editing a video and I've fully decided that that is my last video. You know, the editing process is too long, it's not working for me. You know, maybe the views might be a bit low during that period of time or whatever, and I might be editing a video that takes a bit longer than some of the other videos. My mind sort of starts focusing on how many hours that video has taken to edit, and then I'm sort of like looking at that in terms of how much money I'm going to get for that video, and then, you know, my mind starts dissecting it into, you know, how much I'm getting paid per hour. And yeah, it's just my mind coming in and persuading me that, you know, it's not worth it. And yeah, I've literally been in a situation where I've decided, right, that's it, this isn't for me. I've given it a go, but, you know, I'm stopping YouTube. But then I'm sort of if I reframe it in terms of, you know, I'm making these videos for other people to watch, you know, it gives people joy. I get emails all the time from people about the other channel and obviously about this channel, you know, saying that my videos help them, that they enjoy watching my videos. You know, people might watch me messing around with my cars and it inspires them to get out to the garage to work on their cars, or, you know, maybe they're having a hard time of life and watching me mess around with my cars takes them away from that for the 20 minutes. And, you know, they're really grateful that my videos have done that for them. You know, when I focus on that side of things, you know, think about all the emails that I've received, think about the joy that I'm putting out in the world, you know, then all of a sudden spending 20 hours on a video, you know, some of them do take that long, isn't too much. You know, it doesn't seem like too much because I'm not focusing on how many hours it's taken, how much money I'm earning. I'm focusing on how much joy it's putting out in the world, how much positivity it's putting out in the world. And then all of a sudden, even though it's the same thing. It's editing a video, spending 20 hours editing a video. That hasn't changed. It's just that the way that I'm looking at it is in a way that it's serving other people, rather than looking at it and seeing what it's doing for me in terms of views, in terms of money, etc. And yeah, that can make a massive difference. And you know, with this channel, over the years, I've tried to stay clean from drink and drugs. You know, even sort of tried to use the money thing as an excuse. You know, if I stop taking drugs, I'll have more money. That never works. You know, my health, you know, I've tried sort of focusing on my health, and that never works. You know, this time I'm sort of focusing on everything, and I'm really focusing on making it my whole life, you know, to stay healthy, to stay clean. But I've also started this channel. So one big thing that's in the back of my mind, whenever my mind does sort of start, you know, fantasizing with the idea of me taking drugs or drinking again, you know, now it's not about me. You know, I'm now setting an example to you guys that watch this channel. You know, I'm making these videos. I've got people now emailing me and telling me their stories with their battles with drugs. I've got people emailing me, telling me how much my videos are helping them, you know, view the world differently, and how much my videos are helping them stay clean. You know, so it's not about me anymore. And I think that's one of the key ways that this attempt at staying clean is so different than all the others, because it's not about me. It's about me serving other people. It's about me putting positivity out in the world. And if I'm going to do that, I need to continue to stay clean. I need to continue to improve myself. I need to continue to stay as healthy as I can. And what am I getting back in return? Well, I'm living an awesome life where I'm not taking drugs, where, you know, the urges to take drugs are minuscule compared to any other attempt at this that I've had. So, you know, that's one big example where serving other people, or the way I see it, I'm serving other people by making these videos, by being an example, is giving me back tenfold. Because as I mentioned so many times on this channel, I am now in the best shape physically, mentally and spiritually than I've ever been. So look, the way I see it is, if you can focus on serving other people, you know, whether it be a little bit, whether it be a lot, it doesn't matter. As a human, you are probably naturally quite selfish if you allow yourself to be. So if you can focus on serving other people, it's going to make you happier. It's going to make your life better, as well as the people that you're serving. You know, you're going to be more of a positive person. Then that's going to mean that you're able to spot opportunities better because of your reticular activation system. Because you're being positive, you're looking for positive. And when you're looking for positive, you'll find positive. If you can reframe some of the things that you might see as a bit mundane in a way where you're serving other people, it's going to make those potentially mundane things seem more worthwhile. And if you're focusing on serving other people, it's another purpose in life. You know, having this channel, doing what I'm doing now, I feel like I've got another purpose in life. And look, it's a constructive cycle, because the more you put positivity out in the world, the more you're going to feel good, which then means you're going to want to put more positivity in the world, and it just goes on and on and on and on. It will improve your life in more ways than you could imagine. Like even things like your sex life, right? Now, if you're making love to your woman and you're just focusing on me, you'll find you don't do as much of a good job. If you focus on how much she's enjoying it, you'll find that you end up doing a better job. And when you see her enjoying it, you enjoy it as well. So that's a sort of, you know, crude, primitive way that this works as well. When I focus on how much my girlfriend is enjoying it, rather than focusing on me, I find that I do a better job, which then makes me feel better, and the cycle just goes on and on. And look, you might be working a job that you don't particularly enjoy. You know, loads of people out there do jobs they don't particularly enjoy. I'm lucky. My job at the moment is to be a YouTuber. And although it's hard, although, as I've already mentioned in this video, there are times where, you know, my mind persuades me that it's not for me, I'm lucky. But there are people out there that are doing jobs that they really don't like. They might even say they hate them. But ultimately, whatever job you're doing, you'll have a customer, you'll have a client, you'll have someone out there that's benefiting from your job. So look, you've got to go to work, you've got to earn money, you know, look out for other opportunities, you know, if you want to change your career. But while you're doing your job, focus on what you're doing is benefiting, rather than focusing on how hard it is, how low paid it might be, or how much you hate it. It's just, you've got to go to work anyway, but rather than focusing on how much you don't like it, focus on how much what you're doing is benefiting someone else. And you'll find that it becomes that little bit more worthwhile. And then you end up doing an even better job, which then makes the people that you're serving feel better, which then could make you feel better about what you're doing. And then your job might not seem as bad as it does. So, it's a constructive cycle. And look, another thing I'd say is, without sort of looking down at other people, everyone knows someone whose main focus is on what they're getting out of life. There might be someone that never takes any crap from anyone, and that's their main focus. They never get mugged off. But you'll also notice that those kind of people are really selfish, and they always seem to have bad luck. No opportunities seem to come their way because they're always focused on me, and their main focus is not letting anyone sort of have one up on them. They're focusing on not losing rather than focusing on winning at life. They're never serving other people because to them, that would be them sort of getting mugged off in a way. We all know someone like that. And it's sad, although they sort of believe that they're winning because no one would ever sort of mug them off, in reality, when you step back and look, they're not winning. They might be the kind of person that no one really likes, although no one would say it to their face. They blame others for everything that's going wrong in their life, rather than looking within and finding a way of improving things themselves. That's just an example of the vicious cycle of selfishness. So, get yourself into a constructive cycle. Put positivity out in the world. Serve other people when and where you can. You will get 10 times as much positivity back, so it will benefit you more than it benefits the people that you're serving. It's a way of reframing your mind so that some things that are in your life that you might not love, seem more worthwhile, which again is going to improve your life. And look, if everyone focused on serving other people, although I don't think that's going to happen, imagine how great the whole world would be. But you can't control the whole world. You can only control what you're doing. And this doesn't take a lot. Just turning yourself into someone who, is overly polite to people, opens doors for people, looks for opportunities to serve other people. You really do only need to make a couple of little changes in your life to turn yourself into the kind of person that serves other people whenever they get the opportunity. And those little changes, they're going to change the world, they're going to change other people's lives that you're serving, but they're going to make your life a whole lot better. And it's just another part of this self-improvement thing, and it all sort of leads into each other. If you're a more serving person, you're a more happy person. If you're a more happy person, you're going to be more willing to do your exercise every day. If you're exercising every day, you're going to be more willing to eat healthy. It all sort of adds up. All these little changes add up to making your life a million times better. And that's certainly what seems to be happening with me for the last, just for those of you who are interested, 153 days. Now, 153 days is nothing in the grand scheme of things. I've been on this planet for over 38 years, but all these little changes that I'm making, and the fact that I'm taking them seriously, the fact that I'm trying to turn myself into someone who's a good example on the world, has meant that 153 days is a million times better than the other thousands and thousands of days that I've been alive. And you know what? There's loads of you guys that get in touch with me regularly to say that the things that I've mentioned, you've incorporated into your lives, and it's made your life better as well. So, long may it continue for me, long may it continue for you guys. But I think that's enough waffling for one video. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll chat to you again very soon.